Hello, my name is Kenley Fortner, and today I'm going to be sharing with you about an unsung hero that I love personally and emotionally. His name is Devin Castler. You might find yourself asking what an unsung hero is. An unsung hero is a person who works and a lot of the time may go unnoticed. Mr. Castler is a security system dispatcher. His job description is to respond to an emergency or non-emergency for help and information. Their duties include monitoring, updating call logs, and recording call information. When I interviewed him, he said that he sees himself as an unsung hero because he believes that dispatchers may go unnoticed because they are not physically there to help the person in need. He said, "My job can be quite interesting and scary at some points. I say this because when I get an alert that alarm is going off in a residential home or company, I have to call the homeowner or the company's owner and or manager and see if it was them accidentally tripping the alarm or if it really was a break-in, fire, or medical alarm. If he gets a call and it is a break-in, he has to dispatch the police to the home and or company." He said, "While participating in this job, I have saved countless lives. There was one time I had a tripped alarm while there was an old lady in her home asleep and she couldn't get to her alarm. I had to dispatch the police. There was a person in her home that did not belong there." He continues with, "The older lady could not thank me enough. She was forever grateful. At one point, this lady had sent me a small basket with stuff inside to thank me for saving her and her home." Mr. Castler also told me another story about a break-in at a church. He said, "I had an alarm at a church here in Lima and had been tripped more than once. The first 2 or 3 times I had to call the owner of the church and they thought it was nothing, so the owner went ahead and gave him the information to shut off his alarm. The 4th time the alarm was tripped, the owner had me send a police officer to the church and see what was going on because the owner was on vacation. When the police were dispatched to the church, they found someone in the basement and he was arrested and was charged with breaking and entering. Personally, I can see why this job is particularly and could go unnoticed. These people are not there when the situation is happening. It is the police or the fire department depending on the situation. His job is hard to deal with sometimes, sending police officers out to home and or companies not knowing what they are about to walk into." Mr. Castler has stated, "This job is probably one of the most interesting jobs there is. Every day is something new. There are days that are slower than ever, and there are days when I get to work and the phone doesn't stop ringing." In conclusion to this speech, I would like to thank Mr. Castler for sharing his information about this security system dispatching. This job seems to be a pretty mentally tough job. You have to be able to keep the people calm over the phone until someone gets there to tend to their safety, and you also have to be aware of what is being done around you to come up with a solution to the problem. Thank you so much for listening.